Starting with the main enclosure, we have Arduino in there with a built-in Wi-Fi module. With next to it is a accelerometer, and next to that is a battery charger that is controlling the voltage level of the battery and supplies power to the Arduino. And as you can see, the USB cable can be plugged into either Arduino for the programming and supplying the power, or it can be plugged into the battery charger for just charging the battery. And on top that is the GPS module with plexiglass window for the clear view of the sky if it requires to see the sky. These are the Hall effect sensors. If the magnet is passed in front of it, that will count the RPM as the magnet with each magnet pass. And this is the potentiometer that will measure the throttle input of the driver. And this is the display. So the most interesting values for the driver probably would be the speedometer and the tachometer. And below we have the throttle, gear ratio, and the power calculation. The throttle and the gear ratio is shown in the progress bars, because the driver probably would not be able to see numbers, and progress bars probably be easier for the driver to recognize and probably more meaningful. The gear ratio is calculated from the CVT input and the CVT output. The gear ratio on the CVT goes from the 3-to-1 reduction all the way to 0.43 to 1 overdrive, and that's why the bar is split halfway through the middle, or about 60 to 40%. The first part is the reduction, and once it gets to the second part, that's overdrive. Obviously these numbers are simulated because there is actually no gearbox, no engine connected to those tachometer sensors. I just plugged in the code to show how the display would work when it's in the vehicle. And the vehicle would never reach 95 kilometers an hour unless it was going downhill. And at the bottom we have the power calculation, and that is just using the accelerometer value and the weight of the vehicle to calculate how much roughly power would be to account for that much acceleration at that speed. And to show that how it works, we can just tilt the unit to get some gravitational acceleration, and you can see it's going up. The bar is scaled to 10 horsepower, so if its bar is filled all the way, that will be 10 horsepower, which probably will never get filled because the inefficiencies of the drivetrain.